Welcome back to Risque Business News. I'm your host, Laura.
And I'm May.
And today we are going to be talking about a number of different things, but most importantly, the potential ban on very popular application TikTok.
I've never heard of it. No, I'm addicted to it, so I'm kind of conflicted about this.
I know. I'm like, maybe it would be good.
Yeah.
If you guys get rid of it. But
yeah.
A lot of fun stuff going on there, so we'll get you in the know.
Where's the money? I don't understand how you make money.
Hold on.
From that, though.
2 stand-up comics in New York City.
Just learned a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna ask all the stupid questions that you might be thinking at home, but are afraid to ask people.
Making it to where you feel like you're too stupid to be able to ever engage in it, they win.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
It's to make money. It's Risque Business News.
I wonder if anything will actually come out of this, because I feel like we've seen so many court hearings with Zuckerberg and the like, and
they love talking.
with Twitter and all this, and nobody ever does anything. There's zero legislation that comes out. I mean, I think everybody, blanket statement across the board, I think we can all agree that there should be better laws on social media in general, because it's sort of this new...
It's certainly not good.
It's not good. It's
when you're on it and you're like, well, this is certainly not a net positive on who I am right now. I've only become a worse person because of it.
Totally. I totally agree. And also, I mean, we can get into it when we talk about that chunk, but it's really hard not to compare yourself. I mean, it truly is the bummerest.
There's chaos in all areas, but TikTok is a little bit unique because we've got some national security implications added into the mix beyond just general anorexia.
Right.
It's cool again. You know what I mean? That's the
exactly.
kind of stuff.
Anorexia is cool again, and it's really
a lot of these social media apps are the ones we're saying anorexia, but any of the obsession with what you look like and
how your day is. I actually saw there was a TikTok I saw today that was like how to have a that girl shower, and I was like, now
what
I'm
the
not
fuck does that even mean?
I go, okay, I didn't think that I woke up right, that I was eating right, that I was working out right, that I was dressing right, that I was decoring my house correctly, and now I can't even take a fucking shower right.
I know I'm not taking a shower right. I'm sitting on the ground. I'm chilling.
What? Laura's like, I'm crying in a ball.
Yeah,
I'm
is this
screaming.
wrong? Is this wrong? The cat's in. I don't know.
Laura's just showering with the cat, screaming, crying, throwing up.
Yeah, this is a fun. So I don't know. Maybe that's my improvement area.
I'll send you the TikTok so you can learn
I can work on it.
So you can work on how you shower. You're not doing it right.
I'm definitely not doing it right. Well, that's good. Speaking of people who got really impacted by social media, Kanye West has had quite the week. As usual. He's had a lot of these, but this one was I'm not even that surprised by a lot of the stuff he does anymore. And
of course not, no.
And this one did take me aback. I was like, oh, all right, you got me again, Kanye.
Well, because it reads like an Onion article. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, he said that Jonah Hill actually made him reassess his hatred of Jews and said, wow, 21 Jump Street, a.k.a. a movie made almost 20 years ago. He watched that and he said, you know what? I think I'm in on these people.
He's like, actually, I take it all back. This is fine. 22 Jump Street better also deliver. I don't know if I saw that one. It better be good too, because what if he watches the sequel and he's like, well, then never mind. Never mind. That was actually a disappointment.
It's a lot of pressure on Jewish comedians, I think.
Very much so.
Yeah.
They put the team on their back. Get the team off that cross.
Do you have the actual thing that he said in the caption? Because we're doing a little synopsis of this, but genuinely reading it word for word, it feels like you're reading an Onion article.
It really, or South Park wrote it or something like that. And the funniest part is Jonah Hill is fine, but he's not I wouldn't be number one.
Laura would not be turned by Jonah Hill. In fact, she would be
I would be
Jews
actually,
even more.
We're doubling down. Germany, where are you? Just kidding.
Guys,
here we go.
We're kidding. Everybody relax.
We're obviously kidding.
Okay.
Watching Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street made me like Jewish people again. No period. No one should take anger against one or two individuals and transform that into hatred towards millions of innocent people.
Yeah.
Feels unrelated to the 21 Jump Street point.
He probably had one guy he was working for or working with him, and he hated this one guy.
Definitely.
Whatever.
No, then he goes on, no Christian can be labeled anti-Semite knowing Jesus is Jew. A Jew, but okay. Thank you, Jonah Hill. I love you.
Wow. That is hilarious.
Someone goes, y'all think Hitler would have changed his mind if he would have watched 21 Jump Street?
Maybe.
That's not a bad point.
Did you hear, by the way, there's some kid, I haven't read anything about this. I learned this through Mark. He came into my room when I was typing today, and he was like,
you gotta hear this.
Yeah, I was pretty crazy. Apparently, there's some kid now, I don't even know what state he lives in, whatever, some kid somewhere in the U.S. that is identifying as Hitler. And I think he's like trolling people. I don't know. That's just my theory. I actually haven't read a single word about this, but that is
well,
not great, I guess.
And his name is Kanye West.
Yeah, his name is Kanye West.
He used to go by Ye. What is it? Ye.
Ye.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I think another really cool thing is this might mean we can listen to Kanye West music again. Oh. And that's a big win.
Did we ever for me? Stop?
I've been over here fucking nexting because listen, my boyfriend's a Jew, so
yeah.
I'm like next. That is a bop, but next. I will have that stuck in my head.
Listen, I'm based, and that's why I've never really liked Kanye music. So good for me. I was actually
May.
I was in a workout class shortly after he said all the crazy stuff, and they played a ton of Kanye, and I was like, dude, this is a huge risk.
Yeah,
we are in Manhattan, okay? I would venture to say 50% of this class is either really offended just in general as a human being, / is Jewish and also offended. You know what I mean?
Everyone in New York has at least close Jewish ties. I feel like you can't live here without that. And
no, being anti-Semitic here would be... Woo, that would be really exhausting.
It would be exhausting. Also, I want to laugh about one more thing. Fucking Channing Tatum's involvement in this whole thing. Do you think he's just having like it was a good movie?
I've heard it's a really good movie. I haven't
funny,
seen it,
but it's like it's not. It got like 8.5 stars on Rotten Tomatoes. Like it's good.
It's not bad.
It's good. It's
solid
a good movie
for a comedy. That's pretty good.
I didn't think it was gonna change hatred towards a group of people.
Wow.
I wouldn't have been like, well, we'll give it 10 stars. Come on. All the way. 10 Jewish stars. Let's go.
So funny to if you heard like, oh, he actually had his mind changed. Like, oh, did someone show him Schindler's List? No. 21
Jump Street. No. Yeah, starring Channing Tatum and others.
Was it the boy in the striped pajamas? No. 21 Jump Street.
Sound of Music? Not that one either, actually. No.
Life is Beautiful? No, not that one. That one.
That wasn't it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Kanye West, he's back, I guess.
Last thing I'll say about Kanye West is like, it's crazy to me that Kim Kardashian has to co-parent with this man.
It is pretty funny.
For the rest of her days.
I will say, it's obviously horrible, all the stuff he's saying, and I don't like it. But it's a little funny, some of the stuff about it. Jonah Hill? What? You picked Jonah Hill? Didn't Sam Morrill had the tweet? He's like, a lot of pressure on Jonah Hill to stay funny.
Yes.
So funny.
It's so fucking hilarious.
Yes, very good. Very good stuff. Okay. Well, next story. Cocaine companies. 2 Canadian companies have been given the green light by the Canadian federal government to produce and distribute cocaine, heroin, MDMA, and psilocybin, which is from shrooms.
Oh my God. Why?
For like research and stuff like that. Apparently there was a lot of like other branches of the government were like, hey, no one asked us if this was okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of a back forth, but nonetheless, they got like some of the permits that are required to do this, which is a really big deal. And obviously the cartel, I'm sure, is like, hold on. Who the fuck are they?
So
we're going to need to build another wall? What?
So basically, are they distributing this, or this is just for testing purposes? Because if they're distributing it, then that could put the cartel out of business. Because I'd be like, I'd way rather get my heroin from
Canada,
from Justin Trudeau, who
Canadian snow. Come on.
Who I assume isn't going to put a bunch of weird other shit in it.
Yeah, like fentanyl.
Right.
So I will say at this point, no. Right now, it's still for like medical purposes, and which I didn't realize medical. Like, what medical purposes is there for coke? When am I in the doctor's office just like, listen?
We just go back to 1920s medicine. We're like, she's hysterical. We got to give her some heroin.
It's an option. But this is very similar to what they kind of did with marijuana like years ago.
Yeah.
Like this was kind of like version 1 of marijuana was it had like this weird nebulous research purpose.
I mean, the bottom line is people are going to do drugs. So
yeah. I think that like there should at least be some sort of like legitimate avenues for it. I don't know if they'll ever make it fully recreational.
Yeah, I mean, heroin is just not a recreational thing. The less heroin, the better.
Heroin really threw me. MDMA and obviously psilocybin, there's been a ton of research.
Even coke, it's like, all right, you want to have a crazy night? Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah. I guess if you have a sleeping disorder, if you're narcoleptic, like, well, it'll work. I'm just saying it'll work. I'm not a doctor. It's not a science podcast.
It's so crazy how I used to really enjoy it. And like when I have done it in recent years, I'm like, I hate this.
That's good. You're growing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just like the type of nights I'm having now, but I really do.
I don't see how that would really fit into many of the evenings I have. It's like 3 glasses of wine and then cocaine. Nothing says red wine and Coke like right together.
God, no. Talk about a hangover.
That would be insane. Yeah, I've only dabbled, and every time it's been a disaster because I think my brain is naturally on cocaine.
Yeah, I always say things I regret. Being really annoying, stuff like that.
Yes.
So, unlike this podcast where I just admitted to that in front of all my friends and family that are listening to this. Oh, well, whatever.
We can remove it if we need to, but probably not because I'll probably forget.
Okay.
The next story, this is more family friendly. The Pope wants to fuck.
Okay, great.
In a recent interview with the Catholic Church, he said that the Catholic Church may reconsider its requirement for celibacy for priests.
Okay.
Saying the rule is not an eternal church order. The Pope wants to fuck.
He wants to fuck.
Literally, he had an interview and they were like, do you want to get it wet? And he was like, yes.
That's all I want to do. Honestly, he's probably like looking down the barrel of death. I don't know how fucking old this guy is, but he's like, would it kill me to do this one time?
Has he never done it at all?
I would guess not, right? Because is he not allowed to? Don't you go from priest to pope?
Oh, I think so.
Is that the pipeline?
Yeah.
It's like bishop, priest, bishop,
What's the lead? What's the lead gen? What's the demand gen channel for the Pope? Yeah, I think it goes like, bishop is involved. Also, did you see this picture? There was an AI generated image of the Pope and this like white puffer, and he looks so fucking cool.
He does.
I think this picture came out, and he was like, I could pull for sure.
Oh yeah,
and he could. My old grandma, she would have been into this.
Oh, for sure. There's some like wicked religious folks that are like, they want to it's closer to God.
Yeah, absolutely. Get closer to God. Would you have sex with the Pope?
Oh, no. Well, I just don't like really old guys, so.
Yeah, he's very old. It's a hell of a story, though.
Yeah, it is a hell of a story.
You would get a bit from it.
That's true. I guess I would just for the bit.
It's a good bit.
Like, actually, I don't know.
I know the actual act would be like, whoa.
Yeah, that would totally be like, whoa. Also, it'd probably last. Well, I don't know.
I feel like Mark would be like, you gotta have sex with the Pope. Get in there, lady.
I don't know whether or not it would last 2 seconds because he's a virgin or a really long time because he's super old.
You could just tell him like, you came, and he has dementia. He's like, I came.
Okay, great. He's like, wow, I can't believe I risked it all. I risked to be able to go into the fucking tombs of heaven or whatever.
The tombs of heaven.
Yeah, whatever you call it. The doors of
very
heaven.
Religious.
Pretty crazy though, huh?
Pretty crazy. Yeah, I cannot believe he actually did that in an interview. I don't know if he has the ability to switch that around. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, what is the process to, like, do we go officially through, like, a forum in order to approve the Pope fucking, and then we, like, all, like,
well, that's also,
he's single, ladies.
It's also wicked funny to think about, like, there's some bishops sitting around, and they're like, and they'll have to vote on it, and one guy's like, I think we should say something. It's like, fuck you fucking narc-ass bitch. Like,
that guy's a virgin.
Yeah. The guy's such a virgin. Holy
God.
Shit.
Oh. Yeah. And then also, like, once they do change that rule, like, how fired up they're going to be to, like, go on their little trips. He's just out and about. He's like,
oh, they're going to be pumped.
Hey, ladies.
Yeah, but they probably,
or gentlemen.
They probably can't fuck outside of marriage. Right? That's probably still the clause. Yeah.
Damn. So we'd have a Pope, a Madam Pope.
You know what though?
Mrs. Pope.
I mean, I wonder, like, this is total conjecture, but I do wonder if a part of the reason that there's so much like sexual assault and shit in the Catholic Church, it's like if we would just let them have sex because it's a natural urge and every human wants, or most humans. Sorry, the asexual community, but you know, like whatever, most humans have
our
urge.
Entire podcast listening base.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just offended everyone that listens to us because they're all asexual, obviously. But I'm like, you know, most people have that urge. Like, just let them do the thing that comes natural, and maybe they wouldn't.
Yeah, maybe
be
they'll
so
chill
depraved
out
about it.
Chill out on all the weird shit, little boys.
I don't know. Yeah, hopefully.
Nah, they're gonna keep doing that too.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Oy vey.
That's what I got for the front topics here. Any other commentary on that before we move into the TikTok side?
No.
It's a pretty good segue into what we're going to talk about today, which is TikTok.
Okay.
It has, as we've mentioned earlier, really been under a ton of scrutiny right now. And I wanted to go back in time and talk a little bit about like how it came about and some of the popularity behind it. This is by no means all inclusive, but just a little taste because it's extremely popular. It's probably like the most popular app, I would have to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Apparently there's been like 2.5 billion downloads.
Wow.
It's available in 150 different markets. It has offices in Beijing, Los Angeles, Moscow, Mumbai, India, Seoul, South Korea, and Tokyo, which I want to note, most of those are obviously in Asia. So I think like a significant portion of Asian countries are using TikTok. One thing to note is that there are 7.8 billion people in the world. This app apparently sees about 1 billion global users daily by early 2022. That was one of the statistics out there said that, you know, there's a bunch of different resources, but that was what this one said. So even if that's half right, 1 in 8 people are on TikTok every day.
That's crazy.
Or even if it's like only 500 million, that's still like 1 in 16. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. So many people are on this app. And it's Chinese. So in September 2016, it launched and it's known in China, like it has like a sister app that's only allowed in China because of a lot of requirements that they have over there called Douyin. It really started to grow in 2017 when it acquired Musical.ly. Do you remember Musical.ly?
No.
That was like, I knew my coach's kids at that point when like right around 2016, 2017. And it was that app where it was literally just like dubbing over, like you would just lip sync.
Oh.
But it was like videos of you lip syncing. And it was like all these kids were just like doing like Miley Cyrus videos. Like,
oh, okay.
Or like Hannah Montana back in the day.
Yeah. Which like still exists now on TikTok, but usually it's like people.
That's not the primary use.
Yeah, it's not the primary use.
Musical.ly, that was it. Like that was basically the whole thing. Like new music would come out, you would do your little song, like dance, and I think that's why dancing is such a big part of TikTok.
Maybe, yeah,
because it came from the Musical.ly culture where it was like you were dancing,
Makes
you
sense.
were pretending to sing, and the end. Or I think maybe there was even a part where you could sing. Either way, it had 200 million users. They all got switched over to TikTok.
Okay.
And we know that TikTok is used obviously by a lot of people who need a fuckload of validation and attention from their peers.
Yeah.
But it's also obviously used by a ton of companies trying to make money.
Yeesh.
Which is kind of your industry.
It is my industry, yeah. So if TikTok goes away, I am completely fucked, by the way. Because I've sold a lot of contracts that are essentially say that they're going to get X amount of TikTok content. So if there's no more
is
TikTok,
there a clause in there for like what would happen?
Yeah, obviously there's like T&Cs, and then we have other platforms that we support too. So we would just move that onto YouTube and Instagram, but still it would be like,
ooh.
It would be because there's a lot of brands like this is their primary focus. So they're probably freaking out too because like TikTok is extremely influential. Like think about when you're scrolling through TikTok and you see a girl do her makeup or whatever, and then you see the same product and all these influencers, like it just like seeps into your brain. They're like,
I buy it right away.
Yeah.
I'm one impression and I'm buying like.
But like you see it and you're like, okay, I obviously cannot leave the house without Charlotte Tilbury or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I would be an idiot if I walked out there
Right.
without the fucking glow, mascara,
Crazy.
dual-sided wand, vibrator, collab, telescope.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna not get that.
It's a really valuable way to get your products out there. Very, very valuable.
And it's so funny. So obviously there's the influencer collabs. Like that makes sense to me, especially in beauty. Like that one makes a ton of sense. Except for the fact that they do the filters on top. We talked about this a little bit.
Oh, yeah. That is annoying. Yeah.
I realized that the other day and I was like, what the hell is happening here? What's the point of this?
Right.
The whole thing is what you... Okay. So whatever. Needless to say, I understand those investments. But I think the funniest part for me is like all of the brands have to make their own native accounts. And it's not like it's a special business account. Or maybe there are some elements of it.
Right.
But like the way it projects to people, unless you're doing a sponsored advertisement, which don't necessarily do as well, is native like content that they're creating mostly as entertainment.
Yeah.
Like it's like very tangentially related to what they do as a company anymore. So there's a lot of examples of this, but like Chipotle does a really good job. They ran a Halloween burrito coupon giveaway campaign, encouraging TikTok users to dress up for the holiday and post their images. They scored 4 billion views with this campaign.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. If
Burrito.
you told me to dress up as a Chipotle burrito, like no way. But for some reason, people are like, I can put it on TikTok and then like, but Chipotle might comment.
Right. Yeah.
If Chipotle comments, wouldn't that be cool? 4 billion people. Like,
people love shit like this.
they love it.
That feels like a lot of work though.
That's like really involved. That's like an afternoon just being like, I gotta like go to Walmart. I gotta go to Walmart to get an outfit for the Chipotle burrito.
I think we're really underestimating how boring people's lives are, I guess.
That's true. They have nothing better to do. And I mean, Chipotle's able to capitalize on it.
I mean,
and
enough people have nothing better to do.
That's true.
So that's crazy.
So they did that, and that was like, I mean, it's not free. Obviously, they have to like have their campaign group, like their internal staff, but like it's not like they're paying like $100,000 for a Super Bowl ad.
Right.
You know, like they're running it on an app. Elf Cosmetics is another example that apparently did really well. They did the social media influencers, so a more traditional one, but they created an online reality show and contest called #EyesLipsFace, and it had 9.4 billion clicks as of July 2022. So again, just a few social media influencers, and they make some like fake gimmicky thing, and everyone dives right in. Mm-hmm. And then the NBA, that one, honestly, this one they like used as a success story. It sounds kind of like they should be doing better. Signed up for an account and scored more than 15.8 million hits as of July 2022. You're the NBA.
Yeah, it feels like you should have more because you could have so many highlight reels and like crazy shit going on.
That's an obvious one where I'm like, you are an entertainment network. You are already filming.
Yeah.
Everybody doing their shit. Just do some cute cuts and like some edits and what are you doing?
That's the thing about TikTok though. It's like people don't want things that they can see other places. Like they want some weird nitty gritty, like get ready with me while I tell you about my UTI. Like they want something like super raw and weird, and like they want to be like, get ready with me while I go to court against my baby daddy and like and learn about this thing. And like that, like for that I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna watch this 3-minute video about
listen
her
to me
baby
break
daddy.
up with my boyfriend for cheating on me with my best friend.
Exactly. And then they're putting on their Elf Cosmetics and I'm like, this is fascinating. But like if to be fair, like if I went by and I saw like the NBA and it was like, you know, some fucking highlight reel, I would be like, I don't care about this. I'll watch this on ESPN if I was even into that, but I'm not.
I need LeBron to be like playing against his wife who just was pregnant with his kid and then cheated on him at the same time or some shit like that. Right. Then I'm watching. Then I'm watching the NBA highlight reel.
Yeah, if LeBron is beating his wife on camera, you better believe I'm gonna sit and watch that.
Watching.
And I might even comment. I might comment and say, "Hey, this is not right."
No, it's not.
That's engagement. For
Chipotle
the NBA.
would be like, "Hey, LeBron," at LeBron.
Also, the food ones really work. I've discovered so many like restaurants and all this stuff because all the geo targeting. They know I'm in New York, obviously, and then so they'll send all these things. Like it's you know.
No. I mean, I've discovered a ton of great stuff via the app. Yeah, trying to plan multiple trips, and so they do a great job. These are just some examples of that. It is interesting though because they make money on in-app purchases. So obviously, if you actually click through the sponsored stuff, they make money. They make money to put those sponsor spots there, and they do some like display ads where those are like the ones that pop up and they say sponsored. Mm-hmm. But then we also have these other ones like which are very cringy. So, like one of them that like always makes me worried about us because it's so popular is the Duolingo bird.
It is pretty funny sometimes, though.
It's so funny, but
Yeah.
I'm also like, what's wrong with us? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's like at this point, it's been so long that this bird has had to be so fucking funny that I'm like,
Yeah.
what are we? When does this no longer become about learning another language?
Right.
Like it needs its own TV show or
Yeah.
something. Because I don't give a shit about learning French. I
No.
want to know why this bird is one of the best comics living today.
It is. That, you know what? The Duolingo bird should do, like at some like corporate event or whatever, it should do a stand-up set.
Absolutely.
The Duolingo bird. That'd be so funny. Imagine
what-
writing for that. That'd be hilarious.
That would be so funny. What stand-up comic is going to get in the bird suit and become the Duolingo bird at a
Me.
corporate sales event? I think it might be us.
It might be us.
We might be your new Duolingo birds.
That's so funny.
Yes, I'm worried about it. I hope it's getting therapy.
I'm going to have the Duolingo bird open for me when I'm headlining.
Yeah, so all of this together helps.
Actually, if we did a live pod, having the Duolingo bird open for us would be fucking incredible.
We should have the Duolingo bird's like cousin or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Off-brand Duolingo.
So off-brand Duolingo, so we don't get in trouble. That is
Yes.
an idea, and it's a pretty good one.
It's a pretty good one. It's the exact same thing. It's just like blue, and everyone's like Twitter, and I'm like, no. It's not that one at all.
We're not getting sued up here, okay?
So TikTok is worth $50 billion as a result of all this.
I believe it.
Which makes it the most valuable startup in the world, which makes complete sense. About 40% of the users are between 18 to 24. 56% are female. As I mentioned, about actually, did I say this yet? 150 or 141 at this point. It's now, I think, closer to 150 million active users are from the US.
Okay.
There's like, what, 350 people in the country as a
I think so.
whole?
Yeah, so that's a lot.
So it's close to 50% of the country, about half,
And
are on TikTok.
I wonder what they what do they qualify as a active user? Do you have to have posted your own content? Because there's so many people that just go on there and scroll, because it's like daunting to do TikToks. It's like a fucking
Oh yeah, I think I would
pain in my
argue
ass.
like majority of these people are
Yeah.
passive.
I would guess that like the million active people, it includes people that are just swiping and they don't have any like
Totally.
actual content. Okay, cool.
It must absolutely. Honestly, they care about those people more because it's like idiots like me who are over here
Right.
buying the shit.
Exactly.
I do not understand. I bought so much bullshit from China via TikTok. I have
Oh,
that
yeah.
little head massager that just kind of vibrates. I think it's a head massager. I think. No, it is. And like it like goes in like a little circle. It's so nice. Oh, I love it so much. Came directly from a factory in China.
Oh yeah.
Directly. Like overseas, DHL. That's when you know.
Oh, DHL, that is how you
Yes,
know.
It is how you know. I also bought a bunch of swimsuits off of it. I'm 50 billion. I'm like, it's just me contributing to that.
It's great.
Its users spend an average of 46 minutes per day on the app, that is concerning.
That is concerning. And
Average.
also like I've spent way more. Like the average is taking in someone who has a sensible amount of time and then timesing it by May Planner, which
right.
is
And then there's the outliers.
Yeah, and then there's the outliers like me.
6 hours. Can you believe?
Yeah.
She says she has a job. I don't
Yeah.
believe it. No. Yeah, no, I mean, time really slides away.
It
Is
really
nice, like on the
does.
subway or something like that, because you're just like, oh, we're
Yes.
there. Oh,
Yeah.
I missed my stop. Okay. Whoops.
No, it's so true. Like if you have like you're like, oh, I have an hour to kill, okay, and then it just
Gone.
gone.
So people are spending a shit ton of time on it. So needless to say that obviously that'll kind of lead into like some of the concerns that come around. What is being put into everyone's brains for that amount of time.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about like why this might be a concern. ByteDance, as I mentioned, is the parent company for TikTok. And what was the name of the other one? Douyin.
Douyin, yeah.
So ByteDance is a massive company. It also owns, like, for instance, a bunch of stuff. But one of the things that it owns is a news platform
Oh,
in
really?
China.
Oh,
Mhm.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
actually applied to work at ByteDance.
Did you?
I did, and I did not get the job.
Wow.
But yeah, I could have worked at ByteDance.
You could have spent 8 hours a day on TikTok.
I know.
You're like, whoa. Concerned.
I don't know how the fuck I like. When I was like looking for a job, I was like looking. I wasn't even doing it on purpose, but I applied to like tons of social media companies. I also applied to Grindr.
That would have been a fun one.
I know.
I bet
And
that's a cool company to work at,
I got through
realistically.
2 rounds, and then they didn't hire me. They probably because I'm not their demographic.
Yeah. They were like, wait, oh, she's not a lesbian. That's
I
gonna be like
guess.
our offshoot app or something like that.
Yeah, but whatever. So and
Is
then,
there lesbian Grinder? Like a version?
is it just Grinder or
I don't know.
you guys let us know? I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
You'll download Grinder. That'd be so funny if Mark's like, okay, I heard you were cheating on me, but like Mateo Lane saw you on Grinder. Like he's like, cheat on me better.
just like I'm disappointed more than anything. It is obviously ByteDance is a massive company. Like for instance, this like news app that it has is called Today's Headlines. It's a China-based Chinese news company, and it has, what was it? It says here, 120 million daily active users.
Wait, I like misheard you when you said data company. I thought you said a China-based China company.
A China company. Maybe I did say that. I'm over glitching. I'm like, so much Chinese.
There's a China-based China company that sells Chinese software
and Chinese food. It's because I clicked this and there's all these like little Chinese symbols in front of me, and whenever I see those, I get really intimidated. I'm like, can you imagine being able to read that?
No, it's really impressive. It's crazy to be able to speak Mandarin or Cantonese and then also English. Like that's fucking psycho.
This is not like, obviously I look at this and I see little like hieroglyphics.
Yes.
It's like cave days for me.
I don't know what it means.
I actually think I'd have more luck reading hieroglyphics. I'm dead serious than I would reading the Chinese Mandarin written out.
It's like, okay, here's like a woman walking up a hill. And then this means woman walking up a hill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a horse. It's dead.
Wait,
dead horse.
Have I talked to you about how in like 3rd grade I got this? I don't know what the fuck. I was obsessed with 2 things. I was obsessed with the Holocaust, and I was also obsessed with hieroglyphics. And
how did you collab those? You're like, this cross.
Yeah.
Pretty
and
cool.
I did like a bunch of like projects surrounding hieroglyphics. I would like write out the alphabet in hieroglyphics. I'm like, where am I even getting this information? And I did it like a cutesy art project where I made it into like this stone that was like, but I was like very into hieroglyphics. It was
that's so funny.
It's so funny thinking about like the little hyper focuses that you have as a kid. Where like my mom, like now I feel like as a mom I would be like, okay, my kid's like fucking obsessed with hieroglyphics. Does she have autism? You know what I mean? Like, and
wow.
Like, oh no, now she's on to Anne Frank. Oh no.
Oh boy. You know, that typical pipeline.
Hieroglyphics to Anne Frank. Also, the North Korean, South Korean War. That was a big one for me.
You were just like, you were maybe too weird for Tumblr. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You're posting your stuff on Tumblr. They're like, nah, dude, that's fucking weird. Get your strange stones off of here.
That cult favorite book, So Far from the Bamboo Grove. Everyone knows that book. Everyone knows.
Of course.
She was really fucking far from her bamboo grove, dude. She had to go all the way to South
genuinely
Korea.
Don't know what you're talking about because I was normal. I was over here being a horse girl under duress and etc. Trying to be a marine biologist, but that was all of us.
Yeah, you gotta be a marine biologist.
You gotta be.
Well, I grew up close to Woods Hole, so that was a big part of my life. What's
Woods Hole?
Woods Hole is what's Woods Hole? It's where all the marine biology goes down. They have a big marine biology like hub there.
I lived in Rhode Island, so we had our own we
had
off-brand
hub, yeah.
We had our off-brand hub.
Yeah.
I went to the URI camp and it was just like you went and like got the horseshoe crabs out of the board.
Yeah.
We just pull the horseshoe crabs out and we kind of walk around holding them.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, that's very nice.
And they're so scary.
They are, and you catch them and you feel like you did something.
Yeah, you do.
They're not moving very fast.
No, they're not going very fast.
They're not.
But they got those weird like.
Also, did you know they have blue blood?
I probably did at some point, but I don't know that now. Yeah.
I remember that shit. I remembered. I put that in the back. It's very useful in hospital settings, but they have synthetic version now, so you don't have to kill all the horseshoe crabs anymore.
Wait, why is it useful?
It does good stuff.
Okay.
You heard it here first, team.
Nice. Maybe like when you breathe the oxygen into the blue, it's like double oxygen. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
That was it.
That's my
write
scientific.
That down. You should write that down.
You know what? I'm gonna send it into Woods Hole and be like, "Did you guys know?
Hey, have you guys considered this? Is maybe." I do remember though when I went to a marine biology camp because I was fully committed. I was like, "We're making this a job."
Oh, and you like really wanted to be a marine biologist?
Yes. What do you think of like over here pretending. I'm not a faker. I'm not a fraud.
I was a fraud.
Woods Hole.
I went to a few field trips.
Oh no, I went to camp. I signed up. I went on a fishing vessel.
Wow.
I was out at sea. This is URI. URI, they were like, all right, you're working now. It's child labor.
You're working. You're putting out nets. You just come back with a bunch of oysters and lobsters. They're like, now we sell it to the lobster mart.
Well, get this. We do put out a net. We came back and they showed us like, when you like, that doesn't seem like the most sustainable fishing method. I'm going to go ahead and say that. And you net so much shit. And it's all sorts of crazies. There's like boots,
tires. Yeah.
Tires. So many fish. Like a shark gets randomly caught in the mix. They're like throwing random stuff back in there and everything's dying, obviously.
Oh, no.
Because it's like, it's out of the water. It's like fish that have been dragged out of the water. And the whole time I'm watching like a genocide occur in front of me. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to be a marine biologist anymore.
Did you eat any of the fish?
No.
Oh my gosh. You should have eaten them.
There was way too many. It was like this room. Like half of this room of fish. Like a crazy amount of fish. We were on a working fishing vessel. I was a child laborer for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Department of
Rhode Island.
Of me, yeah.
I can't believe the documentary Seaspiracy is about you and about your class.
My class.
In Rhode Island.
That's absolutely what happened.
I watched that, by the way, and I was never craving a tuna fish sandwich more in my entire life. I was like, whoa, those look delicious.
You honestly should have gone. If you gone in my little camp, you probably would be a marine biologist right
Look
now.
at that.
Would have been like, this is amazing. I was disturbed. I was like, I gotta go. I was like, after that, I was like, I think B2B sales is where I need to believe.
B2B sales. No, B2B
tech
sales is where everyone should be.
Everyone should be in B2B tech sales. That's
correct.
Very different vibe than marine biologist, child laborer, fisherman. Where was I going with this? I really went on a tear.
We were talking about Bite Dance.
Oh, that's
which
right.
Is
I got distracted by the Chinese hieroglyphics.
Right.
Anyone who can read that, you're a fucking genius.
Unless you're from China. Otherwise, you're just a regular person.
Yeah. I think everybody. Isn't there like more people with perfect IQs or something like that in China than in Americans as a whole?
Oh, for sure. I'm sure. Yeah. I've also heard that TikTok looks a lot different in China because they like teach interesting things that they can like use and like all this stuff. Where our TikTok is like, like the get ready with me.
It's like everyone's a burrito.
Consumerism. And I'm like, bye.
Yeah, absolutely. Buying directly from the factories in China. So actually, we will talk about that in just a second because that's a little bit interesting. But anyway, so ByteDance, 1.9 billion monthly active users across all of its platforms, which, holy shit, team, that is a lot of people.
We did it, Joe.
Very different culture. So it's a global company, clearly. I thought this was funny. Like, there's a bunch of different little mini scandals that came up. One of them that was made me laugh, but I would have been pissed if I was there. Joshua Ma, a senior executive at China's ByteDance, owner of the app, and he was the head of e-commerce at TikTok Europe. Okay. But he's coming from like China headquarters, over there. Mm-hmm. And he pissed everyone off at their London office when at a dinner, he told everyone that as a capitalist, he didn't believe that companies should offer maternity leave.
Oh, good.
Yes. And they were like, listen, I know that you read the book on capitalism that the CCP provided you. And you were like, well, this doesn't technically fit in the narrative. And you're not wrong, but we still want it. Okay?
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Joshua Ma. That's also definitely not his name.
Yeah. Oh, for sure not.
Really? You're Joshua? No, you're not.
No.
It's something that I can't pronounce.
God, that's crazy.
Either way, TikTok is doing great, but its popularity is a threat in many countries, or it's being seen as a threat, and it's growing. Like, a lot more countries are considering, like, having issue with it because it is like, it's unfortunately it's one of those things where like it's so popular that people are really worried about it.
Yeah, and it's kind of fucking crazy because it's like a lot of people have their livelihoods tied to TikTok too.
Oh, you're not wrong.
So,
but they don't give a shit.
No, yeah.
There are bans. Some countries have already outright banned it, and it made me laugh, like kind of like the differences and why. So India banned it. They banned it after there was a little scuffle with Chinese soldiers and Indian soldiers at one of the borders. Fair enough. After that, they were like, we're done.
Wait, why?
Because,
why does that have to do with TikTok?
Because they were
just banned everything with it, China?
They banned TikTok specifically. I think probably maybe some other Chinese stuff got banned as well.
But how come TikTok?
Because it's, no, I don't think they had Douyin because it's Chinese.
Yeah, but why wouldn't they ban everything from China then if they...
Oh, they might have.
Oh, okay.
I only know of TikTok.
I see.
You're right. There's probably other things associated with this.
Right.
But either way, they had direct tension with China, which I was not aware of.
No, me neither, actually.
A couple years ago.
I didn't know India had China, I didn't know India had China. I didn't know that India had tension with anything because I feel like India is so just like, whatever, man.
Yeah, they're huge and they are doing their own thing.
But I feel like they just kind of like, they're like very peaceful.
So the fact that we think that means it's probably the actual opposite.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're so right.
Because I agree with you. I actually don't know of anything, but that means literally nothing.
Right.
Literally nothing. They could be in active war right now, and I'd be like, India's doing pretty well.
They are meditating all day to go home and beat their wives more efficiently.
Exactly.
I've been talking about beating wives quite a bit.
Yeah, something good. Are you all right?
Yeah. I'm all right.
Do we need a quick check-in?
Yeah.
Taiwan also banned the app. So those two banned it for more like...
Taiwan is obviously like, hey, fuck you, China.
Yeah, they have a little extra reason for beef, potentially.
Is China going to take Taiwan, by the way? Because that stinks.
I don't know.
Probably.
Well,
Whatever.
that's the whole thing with Russia taking whatever the hell.
Ukraine.
But not just Ukraine. What's that other area called? I know it's like linked. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But
I can't
I'm
think of the name
like
of it
moron
right now.
So I don't know.
I already sound really stupid.
I'm like Moldova.
No, I don't think that's it. I'm like Italy.
Yeah.
They want Italy. I'm sure they'd take it if they could. So anyway, so Taiwan, India, fine. I get it. Now, these two are funny. Pakistan and Afghanistan have also banned it because of immoral content.
Well, are they also banning OnlyFans? Well, probably.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I think they're both like, the Taliban is like, oh, there's women on there? No.
Yeah, right.
No,
right.
Fucking absolutely not. Though I will say, was it Pakistan or where was it that those protests are happening?
Oh, that's in Iran.
Every single time those pop up, I just start crying.
I know. They're
it's
gnarly.
like really dramatic. I need to am I pregnant? Like, what's going on?
No, I think you're just someone with a soul. But it's
okay,
also fucking insane because, we could do a deep dive on this. It would be a very
dark
sad, dark
episode.
But it's
like
important.
Subscribe, request.
There's like a lot of people, a lot of women that are speaking out and then they just disappear. And I'm like, holy fucking Christ,
it is
dude.
Wild.
Yeah.
It's wild. So, I'm not surprised I actually am surprised that Iran is not on this list. Perhaps it is, and it's just not included on the specific list that I looked at. I'm sure this is not like all inclusive, but those groups are more banning it because of the content being put on it. Mm-hmm. So there's the groups that are mad about like the background of it, but like not as worried about the content on the apps. Then there's Pakistan and Afghanistan who are more worried about the content on the apps. Maybe they're worried about the Chinese influence too. I could
also see like Iran wanting to ban it just so that people don't see like the atrocities that are happening with all those protests too.
I think they've done some level of banning around it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like for sure. Maybe it never even got there in the first place, so it's not technically banned because it was never technically allowed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, cool loophole. We got it.
Right.
And then so U.S., Canada, and the EU have banned it on all government phones.
Okay.
That feels fair.
It does feel fair.
That feels fair. So now the United States, and it's not just the U.S., there's a bunch of different countries, like even a bunch of like Finland, I think was one of them, which whenever they do something, I'm like, oh shit, we should maybe listen.
Yeah.
They
do smart things. They're
usually like within the T's and C's.
Usually Finland, and this is a blanket statement, and listen, I know nothing about Finland. I've never been there. I don't know anybody from there, blah, blah, blah. But I will say, like, I feel like typically they make laws in the best interest of, like, the health and wellness of their people, rather than when we make laws, it's, like, because some company bought out another company. You know what I mean? So I trust their logic a little bit more than I listen to their logic.
No, I agree. It definitely doesn't feel nearly as like chaotic as when we do it, which is a great segue into, obviously, if you've not been hiding under a rock, you know that the United States has been really seriously for a couple of years now looking at banning TikTok as well for a number of different reasons. So recently they took the CEO to Congress, which his name is Shou Zi-Chu. He's hot.
Yeah. Good looking guy. How old is he? He's like wicked fucking young looking.
He looks really young. I think he's in his 40s.
Okay.
I would. That's a filter on there.
Yeah.
He's got bold glamour on right now.
He's got bold glamour on. That's so funny. Bold glamour is hilarious.
I look like a drag queen.
I do too.
With black. Yeah. I think if you have any sort of like already kind of jaw situation,
right.
it goes nuts. I look like Lord Farquaad.
Yeah.
It's not cute.
Yeah.
It's not cute. It is crazy though. Like, have you ever tried to like put it on and then touch your face? And it moves.
Yeah. Well, like looks like it's not even there. It's like
it's
good.
really scary, folks. Like if you're scared of being catfished, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Just accept it.
Yeah.
You're getting catfished. So anyway, so Shou Zi-Chu, he's wearing bold glamour. He had to go to testify in front of Congress on Thursday of last week. A little background on him. He is actually not Chinese. He's from Singapore.
Okay.
And he went to HBS, Harvard Business School, which is where he met his wife, which is
cute.
Sweet. They're obviously both really fucking wealthy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They're like so wealthy that like there's not like a ton out there on them.
Right.
It's like one of those where you're like, oh,
yeah,
we got it.
Yeah.
They have 2 kids that are 6 and 8, and I don't even know their names because
no, that's good.
It's not out there.
Ironically, he runs this thing that is like taking everyone's data and all of his information from people, and then you can't find out any information or data on him. And he probably knows how valuable it is and how fucking much you want to keep that close to the vest. So he's doing it for his own family, which is like
not bad.
That kind of reminds me of like people say that executives that work in plastic companies, they don't want plastic in their house, and it's like, what do you know that I don't fucking know?
I mean,
goes all the way to the fucking top.
Oh, a big plastic. Big TikTok. This is Mr. Big TikTok himself.
Mm-hmm.
So his kids are not on TikTok. Probably because he calls it TikTok. His kids are not on TikTok, which
another red flag.
Absolutely. He got asked about that. His response was fair, though. He said it's because in Singapore, where his kids live, there's no under 13 experience.
Okay.
And that, how you mentioned earlier that the TikTok in China or whatever, Douyin, is all like educational.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I might be wrong, but I think that's conflating the under 13 experience TikTok with like the normal, like above 13, 14 plus, I guess, version, because the under 13 one is like primarily educational. I'm like, how do I sign up?
I know, right?
For under 13 experience TikTok.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're just watching like Barney, which is kind of it's it's educational in its own way, but
they've got like full ass.
I would be
physics
doing
lessons.
Like puzzles, doing like brain busters.
It's all like history and like science and physics, and like there's like really good channels out there by teachers on just lessons like you would have at school, but like with an actual teacher who's not like a fucking meth head or something like that. I don't know. Real ones.
By the way, did you see that teacher that was this was like a while ago, but I actually probably saw it on TikTok, to be honest with you. But there was this teacher that she got fired for drinking wine during class or whatever, and everyone was like, I mean, same.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Yeah. If I would be lying if I said that I've never had wine when I'm at work.
No, I don't work with kids, but also if I worked with kids, I would be drinking liquor, hard liquor. There's no shot I would just be settling with wine.
No.
I need at least a margarita.
Yeah.
To deal with a 6-year-old? No. So his kids are not on TikTok. They don't have the under 13 experience, and he has to come to the United States to testify in front of Congress. This is a big deal because he is the CEO. He has not really done that much like public facing stuff in relation to this. Mm-hmm. Before this all comes out, he does this TikTok on the TikTok official channel where he
Hi everyone,
says this.
It's Shou here. I'm the CEO of TikTok. I'm here in Washington, D.C. today, and I have some news and updates to share with everyone here. Today, I'm super excited to announce that more than 150 million Americans are on TikTok. That's almost
monthly
half
active
of
users.
the U.S. coming to TikTok to connect, to create, to share, to learn, or just to have some fun. This includes 5 million businesses that use TikTok to reach their customers, and the majority of these are small and medium businesses. Now, these numbers are amazing, and I'm so thankful to all of you and the 7,000 TikTok employees in the US who are helping us build this incredible community in America and around the world. Now, this comes at a pivotal moment for us. Some politicians have started talking about banning TikTok. Now, this could take TikTok away from all 150 million of you. I'll be testifying before Congress later this week to share all that we're doing to protect Americans using the app and deliver on our mission to inspire creativity and to bring joy. Let me know in the comments what you want your elected representatives to know about what you love about TikTok.
So what I found super interesting about that is he stressed a couple of different things in that little message. It went super viral. It got like 4.5 million likes or something like that. Yeah. And he even bragged. He was like, yeah, I went viral naturally. It's like, I'm pretty fucking good.
That's ridiculous.
I know. So a couple of things that he brought up in there that you probably noticed was obviously like started it out with talking about how 50% of 150 million or almost half of the country is monthly active users. That's how they like put that as a little asterisk on the bottom on TikTok. Afterwards, he talks about 5 million small and medium-sized businesses are on TikTok. That's like a big thing with all the elected officials. Local business, like, fuck Walmart. Like, that's their whole deal.
Right.
Then talking about bringing 7,000 jobs to the United States. So he's hitting all the major bullet points.
Yes.
And then what I really noticed was at the very end, he goes, hey, comment what you want your elected officials to know about why you love this app. So this all felt like a lightly, like, not like a threat, but like a reminder to everyone watching the video that like we elect these people. Yeah. So if 150 million people are enjoying this app and they make it known that they're pissed that this is going to potentially be banned, that could like overweigh. And he's not.
And no, he's not wrong. Like the politicians might be like, okay, this is how I gotta go to get the votes. This is how I gotta go to get the votes. That's how any issue is in reality. Like I bet you a lot of people that are voting, against firmer gun laws or whatever, they probably don't even believe that necessarily. And
they don't give a shit.
They just know that they're gonna get elected if they say whatever they want, whatever the people want them to say.
Whatever the people want them to say, and they're also getting money from like the NRA and like a couple other different groups. Absolutely.
Which is disgusting, but that's a different
story. So, of course, so, I mean, he's also making the stupid assumption that the 50% of people he's talking to vote.
Yeah,
Listen,
too.
It's the old people in Florida who are voting. You are such a idealist, Mr. Whatever his name is, Shu. We're not voting. Just kidding. I vote now. Most of these are kids, though. I will say it's a lot of children that like can't vote. So maybe in a couple of years it'd be useful. But either way, so he's really trying to like kind of remind everyone like, hey, you influence these people. You've got to kind of fucking show up and talk to your representatives about this. He then went to Congress, and this was like just every single time someone from Silicon Valley or some sort of tech company goes to Congress, it's like they have an aneurysm. Yeah. The biggest shit show I've ever seen.
Yep.
These people are they using computers? Is it their first time with a smartphone in their hands?
It sounds like it.
This guy, one of this GOP, let's see, I don't even know this guy's name. Let's pull it up. Richard Hudson. So he goes, let me restart it. So,
Mr. Chu, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
He's so confused.
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand that.
So if I have TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
Like, I'm gonna try to figure it out.
You will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Is it possible then that it could access other devices on that home Wi-Fi network?
Congressman, we do not do anything that is beyond any industry norms. I believe the answer to your question is no. It could be technical. Let me get back to you.
Mr. Chu.
He really thought he fucking had him, too.
That's so funny. Like, you're going to get into all my devices. Like, okay.
You're going to get into my, microwave Wi-Fi network. Okay, man. Like,
all right,
he was so confused. He's like, how are we supposed to access
the internet without the Wi-Fi if you're connected to the Wi-Fi. That's
what are
so
you
funny.
fucking talking about? So that's one of the hard-hitting questions that they had.
Great.
They also had GOP Representative Earl Carter. These were just like the two hits. I'm sure there were people from both sides of the alley fucking this up, but these guys they won. I'll say that. They did the best.
I want to talk specifically. Can you tell me right now, can you say with 100% certainty that TikTok does not use the phone's camera to determine whether the content that elicits a pupil dilation should be amplified by the algorithm? Can you tell me that?
We do not collect body, face, or voice data to identify our users. We do not.
You don't?
No. The only face data that you get, that we collect, is when you use the filters to have, say, sunglasses on your face. We need to know where your eyes are.
Why do you need to know what the eyes are if
Why
you're not
does the
seeing if they're
dilation have
dilated?
anything to do with anything?
And that data is stored on your local device and deleted after use if you use it for facial. Again, we do not collect body, face, or voice data to identify our users.
I find that hard to believe. It's our understanding that they're looking at the eyes. How do you determine what age they are then?
We rely on age gating as our key age assurance.
Age
gating, which is when you ask the user what age they are. We have also developed some tools where we look at their public profile to go through the videos that they post to see whether...
Well, that's creepy. Tell me more about that.
It's public. So if you post a video, you choose that video to go public, that's how you get people to see your video. We look at those to see if it matches up the age that you talked about. Now, this is a real challenge for our industry because privacy versus age assurance is a really big problem.
No, it's the same thing. It's like, when you go onto a thing, it's like, are you 21 and older? Yes. Like, there's really no way to gatekeep it in a serious way, but it's like so funny that they
does this guy think? What is he talking about with the pupils? Is he on drugs? Is he he sounds like he's paranoid?
Yeah.
On Molly on TikTok, like, you can tell that my eyes are pupil dilated, right?
I don't understand why the pupil dilation has anything to do with anything.
And
also he's like, why would you need to know where the eyes are? It's because the filters have like a cute thing where you need to know where someone's eyes are. It's like, it's as simple as that. It's not like some crazy thing. Although I will say one thing I have wondered before is like, because I have Clear at the airport and they go and they just look at your eyes.
Oh, yeah. They're
telling
like, if my pupils are dilated.
Yeah. But I'm like, they look at your eyes and then they know exactly who you are. And so I'm like, why the fuck aren't we doing this with like everything? You know what I mean? Like, why do we have like a physical ID that you can have like a fake ID? Like, why shouldn't you like walk up to a bar and it's like, May Planner?
Yeah, because how would I sneak in if I'm 17?
No, totally,
totally.
I mean? But we should be doing that with like voting. With
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll. I think eventually, in like 60 years, based on the timelines that we're looking at here, considering what our elected officials are asking about, I think we might have a minute.
Yeah.
Until that comes around, and there's obviously privacy concerns, but basically, I'm really not sure where he was going with this. One of the other questions that this guy was going down is he was saying that like the challenges from TikTok were causing kids to die. And
I mean, yeah.
What?
Like the challenges in terms of the the hot chip challenge, stuff like that. Okay.
So that was like kind of part of the area that he was coming at, but I feel like this guy read like 4 different articles and then was like ice bucket challenge plus like fentanyl article that's completely unrelated, and then like heat mapping or whatever, like when they like heat the viral trends and things like that, and just put them all together and then took it live to Congress and asked him about it. And this guy was the CEO was like, I don't know what to
I have to say, I feel like the Southern accent in this case, like no offense to anybody who has a Southern accent at home, but it is not helping the situation. Like, if you know what I mean, where it's like sometimes I'm like, I don't know if what he's asking is so out of left field or he just sounds like that. So I'm a little biased, I guess.
It's definitely not helping that question. I still don't know where he was going with that.
I mean, if anybody is being encouraged to eat Tide Pods, I disagree with that, obviously. I think that people...
Yes, but I also don't think we need to ban an app around that. We should maybe just, like, talk to your fucking kids more.
Right.
We should have team talk to your kids and just be like, don't eat Tide Pods.
Yeah.
Because you're a parent. That's your job. Okay. So all of this, part of the reason this is all coming around right now is because of Project Texas. Project Texas is this initiative that kind of got launched under the Trump administration, where you remember a few years ago, this all kind of came up and everyone was like, they're going to ban TikTok.
Yes, yeah.
And
for
then
the first time.
Yes. And then it got pushed down because the Trump administration worked with TikTok and they said, hey, we're going to do all of this stuff where, in essence, we're going to move all of the data into U.S. soil. This is really similar to another law in Europe. I actually have to deal with this a decent bit because of my job. I work in cybersecurity, where it's called GDPR.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to have you might have to deal with some of this stuff too. All European information, like everyone from the EU has to keep their information in Europe. So Ireland has a bunch of data centers. Germany has even stricter laws. It has to be in Germany. Switzerland has stricter laws. Point is, those data centers, like those big warehouses where all the servers are, bless you.
Thank you.
They have to keep all the shit there. Cool. Project Texas is what they decided to name this initiative, which is fucking hilarious to me. Project Texas sounds like what a president would name its dog.
Yes, right.
George Bush's dog is Project Texas.
I also feel like Texas is such a polarizing state.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you purposely doing this?
It's like China knew like one piece of American.
Right.
It's like, Texas. Sure.
It's huge.
They like it. They like Texas. I feel like that would be the ones we need to make them happy.
Maybe they were like, we'll do the Texas thing because they have so many like insanely dumb gun laws that this will be the last thing that they'll look at.
Yeah, that's true. They're busy. They're busy on a ranch like shooting shit, and they're not wrong. So the government was mad because part of the reason the government was mad in the first place is because the CCP has a law where they can request data from these companies. Mm-hmm. And this is actually, I understand this issue. So TikTok is saying that if like the Chinese government requested data on, I don't know, let's say like Biden's account or something along those lines, and there's like a lot of information available. They obviously have like location data and stuff like that. You could think of situations in which this might become, or like people posting from like army bases, things like that.
Yeah.
You can understand situations where that might become valuable to another government. TikTok said that if China put in a request for this information, they wouldn't give it to them. But that's not verifiable.
Yeah.
And it's also, they were like, hey, they've never asked for that. And it's like, okay, well,
but what if they did?
What if they did?
Like, stop with the like not answering the hypothetical because it hasn't happened. It's like, I hate that.
Yeah.
When you'll like, someone will ask for something and they're like, yeah, but it hasn't happened. It's like, okay, but what if it did? And they're like, but it's not a thing because it hasn't happened. I'm like, that's not the answer to the question that it's asked.
Yeah.
That is frustrating.
It's really hard. And I will, like, in their defense, there's no way for them. Like, there's kind of at a stalemate because it's like, they can say that they have all these things that they wouldn't do it, but you don't know until it actually happens.
Right.
And realistically, like,
yeah, are you kidding me? I don't trust
believe
them at all.
you.
They flew a fucking balloon over us and shit.
Absolutely. And then the other side of it is like, even if TikTok like earnestly thinks that they wouldn't do it, remember Jack Ma? And Jack Ma is an interesting guy. So Jack Ma, if you're not familiar, is the CEO or co-founder of Alibaba. Very like the Walmart, like daddy Walmart in China. Huge, so much impact.
Yeah,
he was like one of the richest guys in the world. He's disappeared for the last year because he had like this kind of like brush. China wasn't happy with how much notoriety and how much
like power they
had.
Community,
whatever version of power you want to kind of call it. Jack was getting. And I don't know all the details. I actually do want to look into this and like probably do my own episode on Jack Ma at some point specifically. But literally yesterday, he was seen back in China. He just popped back up. I was like, kind of shit timing for you to show up, dude. Or maybe it's good timing. Alibaba's stock went up as a result.
Interesting.
But at the same time, it kind of, for me at least, reminded me like, do you think Jack Ma would have said exactly the same thing as these TikTok guys?
Yes, of course.
Absolutely. And then like, what was he going to do? What do you do?
I mean, when the Chinese government's down your throat for data, you're giving it to them.
Yeah.
Or else you get fucking disappeared.
You get disappeared.
So
anyway, the current plan that they have as part of Project Texas is for, as I mentioned, to store United States data on United States soil. So that's like all the videos and all of like me looking and trying bold glamour on. It's like that data is so important.
Very important.
It needs to be
just
stored.
Really embarrassing me on my bed, like
Like
my double chins.
sending it to copy link.
They're looking at my pupils dilating as my double chins grow.
Yeah. So I'm like Charlotte Tilbury, just another release. Oh my God. So they need to move all of that data into the U.S. soil. So part of the reason that they did use the name Texas is because Oracle is going, it's a Texas-based company, is going to be the cloud provider that hosts that information. They made this like big deal. Big get
for Oracle.
Big get for Oracle. Plenty of room for those data centers. So they're going to host all the U.S. data in its cloud, which means over 150 million, clearly, people's users' data, videos, etc., would have to move. That takes a very fucking long time.
Wow, yeah.
There's so much that goes underneath this. It's very, very boring.
Yep.
Very, very boring. But point being, all of this is under security review. And if it doesn't get approved, which is part of like what's kind of coming up, is it's getting closer to like potentially getting this approval or not. If it gets denied, then there's a very real chance that TikTok is not permitted.
Oh my gosh.
Now, it could absolutely get approved. I could totally see Joe Biden just being like, yes, but he's like weirdly been a little bit against it too.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, if something bad happened, it would be on whoever allowed this. Yeah,
it's a tough situation.
So that
for them.
is quite a conundrum.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want that type of.
It's a tough situation for him.
It is.
If something goes wrong, he looks fucking stupid.
Yeah, and weak and just like naive.
What will this end up doing? Probably nothing for like at least quite some time. Mostly a lot of political posturing. Those GOP guys, let me just tell you, they're feeling pretty fucking good right now.
They looked like they were feeling good, which I don't know why they should feel that way, because they look like morons that have never opened up. Here's the thing about these these people that are talking to, anybody in tech. I'm like, when you are talking to the guy who runs TikTok, here's an idea. Download TikTok.
Let's
do
pop
a little bit
that boy
scrolling.
open.
You're gonna see it's a bunch of girls
dancing.
There's gonna be people doing makeup tutorials. There's probably some political stuff on there too. It's just like
there's a cooking video. There's a pretty good salmon recipe by what is her name?
Emily Mariko.
Emily Mariko. Check out the Emily Mariko salmon recipe and then tell me that the app should go away.
It's delicious.
It's delicious.
I love it.
It's delicious.
It's great.
There's no getting around it. I think that's what they all need to do. That's what they should have opened up that hearing with, is everyone had to try Emily Mariko's salmon recipe. It's pretty good.
No. Would I have put those flavor combinations together without it? No. Would I have even known to do that? No. Like,
you microwave it over rice.
This is
brilliant.
It's brilliant. Brilliant. I mean,
come on.
The joy that recipe alone has
was worth China having Joe Biden's direct data.
I agree.
I will give it to them.
Yeah.
For Emily Mariko's salmon.
Yes, I think that's fair. I think that makes a lot of sense, honestly.
Absolutely.
Well, if TikTok does get banned, I may be out of a livelihood, but I will have a lot of free time on my hands.
Okay.
So.
I mean, once again, requesting under 13 TikTok experience for myself. How do I sign up?
Yes. I wonder, you could probably like train your TikTok to give you.
I wonder if there's a setting. I should look. Oh God. But I'm going to miss all my cat videos. But they'll probably.
Yeah. I need to do a better job because right now it's deleted off my phone because I have to like put some barriers for myself. It's crazy. But I delete it and then re-download it every once in a while. And whenever I re-download it, it's like, do what you're interested in. And I was like, skip that. I'm like, why am I skipping that? I should be putting cooking, cats, comedy, sorta. I don't really care about other people's clips.
I have no stand-up in mine. It's awesome.
Good for you. Yeah. Cooking, cats, makeup, fashion, like New York City recommendations.
The end. Yeah.
That's it.
Mine's
That's all I want.
Perfectly curated.
Yeah.
Perfect. Just cats and like weird LSD trip videos.
Really?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
funny. All right,
great.
cool. Well, anyway, that was awesome.
I feel like we did a good job of actually having, like, it's funny that like TikTok is where we're like nuanced opinions.
Yes.
Like, we're coming in, we're like, it's really serious, guys.
It's extremely
serious.
You know what though? It could be very serious depending on how you look at it.
Yep. It's true. Well, I guess that's the one last thing I didn't mention is obviously like heating up certain things. Like there's the argument that they could impact elections. And if Twitter, if Russia did that with Twitter, the shittiest, we can all agree Twitter's the shittiest social media app.
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst one.
I hate it.
It's the worst.
It's terrible.
And if they were able to probably at least do some sort of impact with like a shitty bot army there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I definitely think that is possible for sure.
And it's, again, I don't think they've done it at this stage, but it's possible, and that's concerning. I'm glad I'm not in charge. I'll get mad at whatever happens. Don't you worry. I'll be complaining 100%. Either direction, I'm pissed. So, all right. Well, thanks for listening. Tell 3 friends.
And rate us 5 stars if you don't mind.
Bye.
Bye.